Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into the life of John B. Goodenough today.
The guy behind the lithium-ion battery.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got excerpts from his biography here.
You'd be fascinating.
You know what really struck me?
Mm.
This guy was considered a backward student early on.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, because of undiagnosed dyslexia.
Oh, wow.
How do you go from that label to winning a Nobel Prize?
That's the incredible thing about his story, right?
Yes.
Like, it just blows apart all those assumptions we have about intelligence.
Right. Like, what if he'd been limited by that label?
Exactly. It really makes you think.
It does. Like, how many brilliant minds are we missing out on because they don't fit some kind of mold?
Absolutely. And, Goodenough, he defied those expectations.
Yeah, he did.
Graduated summa cum laude from Yale.
Wow.
Then served as a U.S. military meteorologist during World War II.
Wow. I wonder if that experience shaped his scientific approach at all.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
All that discipline, problem solving, under pressure, maybe even just seeing how science had these real-world applications.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are really valuable traits for a researcher.
Totally. After the war, he earned his Ph.D. in physics.
From the University of Chicago.
Yep, working with some big names.
Oh, yeah, like Enrico Fermi.
Huge.
It was in Chicago that he met his wife, too.
Oh, that's sweet.
Irene Wiseman. They were married for over 60 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Amidst all that scientific chaos, he had that personal anchor.
Yeah, it's really heartwarming.
So then he goes on to MIT Lincoln Laboratory for 24 years.
That's right.
That's where he starts working on random access magnetic memory.
RAM.
RAM. Yeah, but for someone who's not a tech whiz, what exactly is RAM?
Well, basically, it's short-term memory for computers.
Okay.
Think of it as your computer's workspace.
Okay.
It's where it's juggling all that data while you're using it.
So before RAM, things were just way slower.
Much slower and less efficient.
Gotcha. So Goodenough was essentially making computers faster and more capable.
Exactly. And he did it by really diving deep into magnetism.
Okay.
So you see magnetic materials, they can store information.
Like how?
As a series of ones and zeros.
Yeah.
It's like a code.
So these tiny magnets are flipping back and forth to store data.
You got it.
Yeah.
And Goodenough, he figured out how to manipulate these magnetic properties
To do what?
to make RAM more reliable and compact.
Wow.
It was a huge step forward for computing.
It's amazing, right? How this understanding of these tiny little particles can have such a massive impact on our lives.
It really is.
So tell me about the Goodenough-Kanamori rules.
Oh, okay.
What are they and why are they so important?
Basically, they're a set of guidelines that predict how electrons behave
In what?
in certain magnetic materials.
Okay.
I know it sounds incredibly specific, but trust me, it's crucial.
I'll trust you.
Imagine trying to build a house without understanding how bricks work.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Exactly. These rules, they provided this framework for understanding how these materials function at a really basic level.
So with that understanding, scientists could design better materials,
For all sorts of applications.
including the RAM Goodenough was working on.
Exactly. It was a major contribution to material science.
And all these advancements, they paved the way for the technology we rely on today.
Without a doubt.
Okay, so then Goodenough moves to Oxford University.
That's where things get really interesting.
That's where the lithium-ion battery breakthrough happened.
Right.
But it wasn't entirely his own right. He was building on previous research.
Yeah, so lithium-ion batteries already existed,
Okay,
but they weren't very powerful.
gotcha.
Goodenough. He discovers that using lithium cobalt oxide as a key component could drastically increase the battery's capacity.
So he supercharged it.
You got it.
That's incredible.
This discovery made batteries smaller, lighter, more powerful.
Which led to...
The portable electronics revolution. Your smartphone, your laptop.
They wouldn't exist without it.
Exactly. All thanks to Goodenough breakthrough.
It's amazing how one discovery can have such a ripple effect across technology.
It really is.
But here's a twist. Oxford, they initially missed out on patenting this revolutionary technology.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's kind of a reminder that even brilliant ideas need the right support
And the right timing.
to reach their full potential.
Absolutely.
And speaking of potential, Goodenough, he didn't stop there.
Nope.
He moved to the University of Texas at Austin,
Kept pushing the boundaries.
well into his 90s.
Incredible, right?
He was thinking about the future,
Absolutely.
about how to power a more sustainable world.
He wanted to break our dependence on fossil fuels,
And that leads us to his research on the glass battery.
which caused quite a stir.
Yeah, the glass battery. It sounds like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it?
So what's the story behind this controversial invention?
Well, Goodenough claimed this glass battery could store even more energy.
Then lithium-ion battery.
Yeah, and charge much faster. But there were some scientists who were skeptical.
They didn't believe him.
They questioned his claims.
Makes sense, though. Even a Nobel laureate faces scrutiny.
Oh, of course. It shows that science is a process.
Always questioning.
Testing.
Even for the most brilliant minds.
Absolutely. And this guy's list of achievements is just astounding.
It really is.
He won every major science award you can think of.
And then some.
Culminating in the Nobel Prize in Chemistry.
At the age of 97.
Unbelievable.
Remarkable.
So, beyond all the accolades and the breakthroughs, who was John B. Goodenough the person?
Well, it seems like he was someone who never stopped questioning.
Never stopped experimenting.
Always pushing the boundaries.
A true innovator.
Absolutely.
That relentless curiosity, that drive to solve problems, it's inspiring.
It makes you wonder what else he might have accomplished.
Right.
If he'd had another 97 years.
Oh, man, what other world-changing discoveries were brewing in that brilliant mind? We're going to delve deeper into that and the lasting impact of Goodenough's work right after this. We're back, and man, I'm still reeling from all those achievements.
It's quite a legacy.
It really is. His work touches like practically every aspect of modern technology. It's true. And you know what's so remarkable to me?
What?
Is how smoothly he transitioned between these different research areas, always pushing those boundaries of knowledge.
He did.
We've talked about RAM, lithium-ion batteries, but there's this other aspect of his work.
Okay.
His exploration of something called cooperative orbital ordering.
You're going to have to break that down for me.
Okay.
Cooperative orbital ordering.
Sounds complicated. I know.
It does.
Think of it like this. Okay. Imagine electrons are dancers at a party.
Okay, I like this analogy.
So in some materials, those electrons, they're moving chaotically.
Uncoordinated.
Right. But then you have materials that exhibit cooperative orbital ordering.
Okay.
And in those materials, the electrons move in sync.
Oh, like a choreographed dance?
Exactly. And Goodenough was one of the first to really grasp this phenomenon.
So he was decoding the dance moves of electrons.
Pretty much. And by understanding these intricate patterns, you know,
Why?
scientists could predict and manipulate the properties of materials in ways never before imagined.
So it was like opening up this whole new world for materials design.
Exactly.
And this understanding, it had practical applications too, right? I mean, we talked about RAM, but were there other technologies that benefited from this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This deeper understanding of electron behavior. It influenced everything from solar cells.
More efficient ones.
Yes. To magnetic materials.
Those are used in?
Data storage. Medical imaging.
Wow.
It's really amazing how fundamental research can have these huge consequences.
It's like a chain reaction of discovery.
I like that.
One breakthrough leads to another, and then suddenly the world is transformed.
And Goodenough was right there leading the way.
Yeah, but you know what's really inspiring to me is that
What?
he wasn't just driven by scientific curiosity.
No, he wasn't.
He really cared about the future of the planet and saw his research as a way to, solve those global challenges.
Absolutely.
Like his work on lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles.
Exactly. It wasn't just about making cooler gadgets.
Right. It was about finding a cleaner, more sustainable way to power our world.
He understood the urgency of moving away from fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And he devoted a lot of his later career to developing those battery technologies.
To make that transition possible.
Exactly.
It's like he had this incredible foresight.
It's true.
Anticipating the challenges we're facing today.
It really is remarkable.
So his work is essentially key to a future powered by clean, sustainable energy.
100%.
That's huge.
And it goes beyond just energy, too.
Yeah.
Think about portable electronics, medical devices, even space exploration.
All those things rely on powerful, lightweight batteries.
And that's all thanks to the foundation laid by Goodenough.
It's like he planted a seed that's now blossoming into this incredible technological ecosystem.
That's a great way to put it.
And like any ecosystem, it's evolving.
Right. Scientists and engineers are building upon his discoveries.
Yeah.
Developing new materials.
New battery chemistries.
Pushing the boundaries even further.
His work is still driving innovation all these decades later.
It really is.
It's incredible.
We'll move towards a more electrified future.
That demand for better, more efficient batteries.
It's just going to keep growing.
And Goodenough's legacy is going to continue to inspire and guide those advancements.
Without a doubt.
But it's not just about the technology itself, you know?
It's not.
It's about that spirit of innovation.
That he embodied.
That relentless curiosity, that determination to solve problems.
That willingness to challenge conventions.
We need those qualities now more than ever.
Absolutely.
His story is a reminder that age
Is no barrier.
to groundbreaking work,
It really isn't.
and that one person can truly make a difference.
You know, he really highlighted the power of scientific inquiry to create a better future.
Yeah, he did, but let's step back for a moment.
Yep.
Let's talk about the personal side of this remarkable individual.
Sounds good.
We know he was married for over 60 years.
Yeah, a long time.
What else can you tell us about John B. Goodenough, the man?
Well, what's really fascinating is that despite his incredible intellect and achievements,
Yeah.
he remained very down to earth.
Really?
People who knew him describe him as kind,
Yeah.
generous,
Wow.
always willing to help.
That's nice.
He was passionate about teaching and mentoring young scientists.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He was all about fostering that next generation of innovators.
Oh, that's heartwarming to hear.
It is.
It really paints this picture of a man who was not only brilliant, but also deeply compassionate, committed to
Absolutely.
sharing his knowledge.
He understood that science wasn't just about individual accomplishment.
Right.
It was about collaboration, mentorship,
Yeah.
leaving a lasting legacy.
What a legacy.
I know, it's incredible.
His work has literally changed the course of human history.
Without a doubt.
But his impact extends far beyond those technologies.
It does.
He showed us what's possible when we combine brilliance with perseverance.
Curiosity with compassion.
He was truly an inspiration.
He was.
But before we get too sentimental,
Yeah.
there's one more thing we need to talk about.
That's that.
The lasting impact of his work and what it means for the future.
That's a great point. We've talked about his achievements.
But what about the future he helped to shape? What are the ripple effects that will continue to impact us? And we're back, wrapping up our deep dive into the amazing life of John B. Goodenough.
It's hard to overstate his impact.
I know, right? His work, it's going to have ripple effects far into the future.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that, the
Okay.
future. How do you see Goodenough's work shaping the world in the years to come?
Well, you know, he was really passionate about sustainability.
He was.
He believed science could solve those big energy challenges we're facing,
Yeah, and his work on lithium-ion batteries.
especially for electric vehicles.
It's really at the heart of that.
It is. He really envisioned a world running on clean energy.
Free from fossil fuels.
Exactly. And, you know, we're starting to see that vision come to life.
We are.
Electric vehicles are becoming more common.
Yeah.
Battery tech is constantly improving.
It's not just about cars, though, is it?
No, you're right.
What about renewable energy sources like solar and wind power?
That's a great point. You know, they're fantastic sources of energy,
Yeah.
but they're intermittent.
Right. The sun's not always shining.
Exactly. And the wind's not always blowing.
So we need a way to store that energy.
Exactly. Efficient energy storage is key.
And that's where Goodenough's work comes in.
Right. His research on batteries,
It's paved the way for storing energy from those renewable sources.
making them more reliable and practical.
So his research is essential for a future powered by clean, sustainable energy.
Absolutely.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is.
The scale of his impact.
And it goes even further than that.
Really?
Think about portable electronics,
Yeah.
medical devices,
Mm-hmm.
space exploration.
Wow.
All those things rely on powerful, lightweight batteries.
And it all goes back to Goodenough.
His work laid the foundation.
It's like he planted a seed.
That's grown into this incredible technological ecosystem.
And like any ecosystem, it keeps evolving.
Right. Scientists and engineers are building on his discoveries,
Developing new materials and battery chemistries.
pushing those boundaries further and further.
So his work is still driving innovation all these years later.
Absolutely.
It's like this ripple effect that just keeps expanding.
And as we move towards this more electrified future,
That demand for better batteries is only going to increase.
it is,
And Goodenough's legacy will continue to inspire those advancements.
without a doubt.
But, you know, it's not just about the technology itself.
Oh, you're right.
It's about that spirit of innovation he embodied.
Absolutely.
That relentless curiosity.
The determination to solve problems.
That willingness to challenge conventions.
We need those qualities now more than ever.
Yeah, his story is a reminder that age is not a barrier to groundbreaking work.
Not at all.
That one person can truly make a difference.
And that scientific inquiry?
It has the power to create a better future.
It really does.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life of John B. Goodenough, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Never stop learning.
Never stop questioning.
And never underestimate the power of an idea to change the world.
That's a great message. His journey is a reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference.
We do, no matter our age or background.
We all have something to contribute.
Who knows what amazing discoveries are still out there waiting to be made?
That's a great question to leave our listeners with. Thank you so much for guiding us through this exploration of John B. Goodenough's life and work.
My pleasure. It was an honor to share his story.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this episode of The Deep Dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.